Hey, so this is supposed to be a kind of short update about more academic things because I am actually at school, which is kind of a weird concept still. I got my timetable sorted. I don't even know if I said that it was messed up, but it was. I initially had wanted to take Gaelic, or Gaelic, as they would say here. I'm still probably saying that wrong. Anyways, I'm sure I'll be corrected. So I had wanted to take Gaelic, but it clashed with my two required psychologies, and basically I have to have those in order to graduate, so it wasn't really a choice that I got to make. It was a choice that got made for me by the clashes in my schedule. So then I was trying to sort out being able to be in film, and the film course actually that I'm in is called Introduction to Film and Visual Culture, so it's very, very new. It's entry level, and it pretty much fit the exact same requirements that I had on Gaelic, that it would be enjoyable first year. I probably wouldn't transfer the credit, but at the end of the day I would value the experience having had it in a completely different culture. I think actually that's one of the reasons I wanted Gaelic, was because they do have quite the Celtic culture here, and there are a few people who speak it. In fact, one of the tutors was apparently born in Isle of Skye and didn't learn how to speak English until he was 5, so he's technically a native speaker, and that's pretty cool. So, anyways, I got it sorted. I'm now in film, and it's weird. Film is weird. I love it, but it's weird. And, of course, my sister also took film in her undergraduate, so it's one of those things that I'm sure we'll be able to talk about, like, the amount of weird in it, but it's like, you're trying to find analysis in the weirdest little things, and it's just like, we watched some super strange films this week. The Great Train Robbery, which is basically normal, but like very old. A film which I cannot say the name of, which was very sad and didn't really have any resolution, and I'm really wondering what's going to happen, so I can't wait for the class discussion on that one. And then Chungking Express, which it started out with like a coke dealer, and then it ended up with a crazy lady who broke into a cop's house all the time, and just like, I don't know, like, was that even the same movie? You could convince me it was like 3 different movies the way that it was split up. So, again, class discussion will probably sort that out, but I'm in film, so yay. My 2 psychs that I'm in, one of them is biological and one of them is perceptual processes, so both of those kind of have like the physical background. I think the biological one, there's going to be a strong focus on psychopharmacology, which is the impact of drugs on your brain functions. So that's kind of cool. We're talking about all sorts of different neurotransmitters, and our first prof is going to do the first 6 weeks. And each of those, I think he's actually doing 5 weeks now, because he did the intro as well, but 5 weeks, each of them have a different neurotransmitter. So we actually have to focus in on like what diseases are associated with that, like what kind of solutions they have at this point, like experimental work, what the function is, whether it's an agonist or an antagonist, which are psychology words, so don't worry about that. But basically, how the brain cells, which are associated with that disease, will react to certain drugs that compromise neurotransmitters or enhance neurotransmitters, depending on what it is that you need in order to reach a resolution to that disease. So that's the biological one. And then perceptual processes. Story on this one. I walked into class on Tuesday morning, 9 a.m., sat down, happy as a clam, thought I was where I was supposed to be. Yeah, the prof started showing slides that had like a 3rd year number on it. And I'm thinking like, bro, I ain't in 3rd year, like, this is bad. This is real bad. Like, I'm in the wrong place, like, now I'm going to have to get out. And what's complicating about Aberdeen lecture halls is they're kind of like, I want to say ball stadium seats, where like you walk in and you have to fold it down to sit on it, but that means that everyone else who walks in after you has to stand up to let you out. And like, they're skinny, so like, it's not even a standing up thing. It's like, pretty much you gotta kick everyone out of the row in order to get out, like whether you're peeing or piecing, everyone's gotta go. So I was having a moment, and I was like, I'm gonna check the internet, it's gonna be fine. Tried to check the internet. For whatever reason, at that point in time, my internet was like, nah, we don't want to do this. Which was, like, bad timing, bro. Like, pull yourself together. So, I waited. I kept on taking notes because I was just like, you know what? It's probably going to be valuable just to get me back in the psychology headspace, and, like, it'd be super awkward if I walked into a 4th-year class that probably only has a handful of people, like, halfway through. Like, that would not fly really well. So, I chilled there, and all of a sudden my internet started working again. I'm like, okay, cool. Got a bunch of emails in. Great. My computer starts making noise. I'm like, also great. But it let me know that the internet was on. So I went on, and I checked it, and I'm in the right room, and I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, what's going on? So I was like, all right, I'm going to chill. I'll figure it out later. I'll email someone. It'll all be good. I'm just going to stay here and keep taking notes. So I took notes all the way to the end of lecture. And on my way down the stairs, somehow juggling things, I dropped my coat. And as I leaned down to pick it up, I stood up and realized that I was standing directly in front of my prof. And so I was like, you know what? Like, I'm right here. I may as well ask. So I said to her, I was just like, what classroom is this? And she goes, it's MT1. MT1 is the one I'm supposed to be in. So I was just like, okay, but the course code on the slides doesn't match the course code on my timetable, even though my timetable says I'm supposed to be in MT1. And she goes, oh, are you in joint honors? And of course I'm like, nah, bro, I'm international and clueless. But I mean, that's not a major. Otherwise, I already would have graduated. So, basically, she's like, joint honors has a 4th-year code for this, and masters, which is like what they actually call just a bachelor. So the Bachelor of Psychology equivalent is a 3rd-year course. So I'm enrolled in the 4th-year course, and I'm going to have some, like, extra expectation when it comes to an assignment, but that's about it. Like, I'm in the same class as a bunch of 3rd-years, so I was like, okay, cool, in the right place, that's all good. And all we learned about was, like, neurons and synapses and, like, the participant in the experience producing some sort of sensory perception as a reaction to things going on around them, which is like, I don't know, 2nd-year material for Guelph, so I guess I already know it, which is a good thing. I'm just hoping that they, like, move beyond it and kind of frame it differently so that I do actually learn something from that class. Who knows? We'll see. Hopefully it'll get harder. But at this point, my lectures for the week, my 2 psych lectures are both like an hour each, and that's it. And then there's like one seminar like way away in the term that apparently we're gonna like have a discussion or something like that. And just everyone's like totally chill. Like, we don't hang out and like do seminars, and there's no papers due like every week. And I'm like, wait, are we even in school? This is easy. This isn't like a 30-hour thing. So film is actually 2 one-hour lectures a week, and then there's an optional student-led viewing, so it's kind of like a lab, but we have to put it together, and we have a space that has a bigger screen than, like, a laptop, so, like, I'll probably always end up going to that, so that's technically class time, but, like, not. It's really just homework. And then the last one, which is technically a geography, I found out, is land and marine conservation, and we're talking about national parks of Britain, like the entirety of Britain, and natural world heritage sites, something like that, which seems really cool. Like, I think it's going to be awesome, and, like, the proximity to the nature reserve we have here is really cool, and then, like, the park that we are actually focusing one of our assignments on is South Downs, so it's, like, all the way down at the bottom of Britain, just below London, actually on the ocean. So, like, I don't know, it's like you kind of get taught about like a whole bunch of different stuff, like all over the British Isles. It's not just Scotland, it's like everything. So that one seems cool. So that's good. So those are my courses. I actually considered dropping the geography one in order to do an English Lit, because it's like their English Lit courses here, just like they actually seem like very interesting. Like, I could probably actually get into English. But I decided I have a lot of background in geography, and I am curious about like the specific location that I'm in currently. So that was a good way to do that, like, officially. So those are my classes. They're pretty chill. They're literally on Tuesday and Thursday. That's it. Like, if I was going to go to the lab, it'd be on Wednesday. And then the one seminar in like week 15 is like on a Friday, like one Friday ever. So it's crazy. I really don't feel like I'm in school, but like I think I'm gonna do to establish like a bunch of routines just to like get there. So basically, I'm still working on my work term report, which everyone here calls a dissertation because it's essentially the equivalent of a dissertation, and that's actually going pretty well because I realized today that I don't need as many pages as I thought I did, because at maximum I need 25 pages, but that includes like title page, content page, introductory letter, which at this point is actually running me 2 pages of content, plus then the report with like implications for research, which are more so my thoughts rather than like research thoughts. So like I have a ton of research and like I'm good to go, but then also within those 25 pages have to be like all the references. So it's like, I don't know, it's not as long as I thought it was going to be. Like initially I was thinking like it has to be 25 pages, which is a few. I think I worked that out to be about 7,000 words, but now I'm thinking like 5,000 will probably cut it so that I don't go over that 25, because I don't want to swamp my course advisor with all of this stuff that like it's other people's research. It's like a synthesis in order to draw conclusions which suit the hypothesis, but the hypothesis was informed by the research process and an assumption that I made when I started doing the research. So like it's not groundbreaking. It's just proving the fact that I can think. So it's been 12 minutes of rambling about courses, and I'm gonna go eat.